Introducing the all-new Yema Superman in GILT, a neo-vintage diver that separates itself in an overcrowded market. There's no denying it, there's a ton of choice for divers, but I gotta say the Superman really stands out. It's got a unique look and a vibe about it, and Yema has been improving it with each generation with their commitment to re-establishing themselves as a leading force in French watchmaking, but more on that later. The Superman turns 62 years old this year, and although this one is an all-new redesign, it pretty much looks exactly the same. Yema just tweaked and refined the case. And my favorite tweak is they've added a subtle high-polished bevel that runs along the entire mid-case. But don't worry, it doesn't affect that tool watch aesthetic because the rest of the Superman remains brushed. And one of the most unique features about the Superman is the mid-case is exceptionally thin, creating a distinct separation between the cylindrical body and the flat mid-case. The top hat style bezel is still here, and the iconic crown locking mechanism is as well. So if you are unfamiliar, the bezel is locked, so you can't use your bezel until you unscrew your crown. And since we have it unscrewed, let's see how it feels and sounds. Okay, so the clicks are not too soft, not too harsh, right in the middle. There's also no play in the bezel and just a hint of saddleback. I don't remember the old Superman's bezel feel. I wish I did. Because if I did, I could compare them, but for now I'll just say it's a pretty decent bezel feel. The bezel has a scratch-resistant sapphire insert with rose gold printing. While I appreciate the sapphire's durability, I don't appreciate its lack of legibility. The numerals disappear in a lot of different lighting situations, but once under direct lighting, the hash marks and numbers magically reappear. But this is just a personal preference. Some of you may like this blacked out look. Now let's take a look at those dimensions. The case comes in at 38.5 millimeters and the bezel 39 even. Now I have to pause for a second. Usually the secret measurement and the dial are pretty much the same, but here the Superman's dial is 27 millimeters and the secret measurement comes in at 31 millimeters. The thickness is 13.5, which is pretty thick, but we have to remember 2.2 millimeters is from the boxed sapphire. And we got drilled lugs and a lug-to-lug of 47 even. So Yema managed to trim down the lug-to-lug to 47. The previous Superman was 48 millimeters. While that does make a difference, the watch still wears larger than its size might suggest. But I will let you judge for yourselves from the wrist shots throughout this video. And part of the reason I say it wears larger is the redesigned bracelet. While it is thinner, this 5-piece fish scale still hangs near the end link, and it effectively increases that lug-to-lug to about 55 millimeters from my measurements. Personally, I would wear this watch only on a strap, but I digress. The bracelet is fully brushed, and it comes in at 19 millimeters, tapering all the way down to 16. The clasp is a point of contention here. It looks to be pressed on the top, fully milled on the inside, and it doesn't feel like it's high-end. It also has 4 micro adjustments and a dive extension. And by the way, the links are fixed via push pins. Now let's switch focus and take a look at the dial. We have a spectacular dark forest green sunray that is so dark, it can look black in some lighting conditions. But just like the bezel, once the light hits it, you can see that beautiful green and it works extremely well with the rose gold applied indices. The hands are also rose gold, while the printed Yema logo, 300 meters, and chaptering markings are in more of a bronze tone print. But overall, it looks well matched and it looks fantastic. And I'm gonna have to give it bonus points. The lume on the hands matches the lume on the hour markers. You'd be surprised how often companies get this wrong. Tudor Pelagos 39. And speaking of the lume, let's quickly check it out. Yema is using grade A Swiss Superluminova, but it might look mismatched and blotchy here, but Yema warned me of this. It's a pre-production model. It will be taken care of for the production models. Alright, flipping the watch over, we are greeted with another sapphire. This sapphire gives us a clear view of the new in-house movement. And guys, take a moment to comment down below. How do you feel about the black galvanic treatment on the movement plates and bridges? I don't think it's the prettiest movement, so I would personally prefer a solid case back to bring down the thickness down to maybe a 12.5, but I get it. They are proud of their all-new in-house movement, and they want to show it off. So what is this new in-house movement? Well, it's designed, manufactured, and assembled in France and calibrated by Yema's watchmakers. And that's not the most impressive thing. This movement is regulated to -3 plus 5 seconds a day. That is one better than COSC on both sides of the zero. So while not officially certified, you're getting a chronometer grade movement with a robust 70 hours of power reserve. And I can already predict the comments. I'm worried about servicing an in-house movement. I don't want to send it back to Yema. Well, your concerns are valid because Yema has confirmed with me every 3 to 5 years, the servicing needs to be done internally in France. And they also mention that it cannot be done by an external watchmaker, which is incredibly disappointing for me. And if you try to use a local watchmaker and let's say a part is broken or worn down, Yema will not sell you the component you need. However, this watch does come with a 5-year international guarantee. That's a good vote of confidence for this new movement. So if you're loving the watch, you're probably still watching the video and are wondering what's the price. Well, it's a little bit high, $1790 USD. That's 140 more than the regular black version with the same CMM10 caliber. But when we consider Yema's recent strides to becoming a fully in-house French watchmaker, the price feels very competitive. The brand has a rich history dating back to 1948, and that adds to its appeal. But now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the GILT Superman? Make sure you let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next one.